if I go up with fifths, so here I'm going to go, oh shoot, that's all right. 1, 2, if you don't mind, but if it's okay. So anyway, we might have a little background noise. It's fine. So fifths, and my piano's out of tune, just so you know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Where am I? 10, 11, 12. There's a C up there. 12 fifths. All right. If I go up, there it is. If I go up 12 fifths and then I go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 octaves. And I made a video on this, but that's not why I'm going to talk about this. I'll get into it a little more in a minute. So if I have, what did I just say? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7 octaves and 12 fifths. If I were to tune octaves pure, meaning pure at the first consonant partial, just pure, all the way up to the top, they would come out to a certain pitch up here. If I tune fifths, 12 fifths, all the way up to here, the note I would end up would be sharp of where I was when I tuned my octaves, from where I tuned my octaves. And that is the Pythagorean comma. Now I'll tell you why I'm telling you this in a minute. I can also tune up with fourths. Okay. And if I get up high enough with fourths to match some octaves, my fourths are going to come up short of the octave wherever they line up. And so in order to temper, fifths came out wide. So what do we have to do? We have to narrow the fifth. Fourths came out narrow. So what do we have to do? We have to widen them so that things come out correctly. Someone asked me which intervals are wide and narrow, or why certain intervals are wide and narrow. So if you just look at fifths and fourths, that's why fifths are narrow and fourths are wide. And it's the same with all the other intervals. So if I have major thirds, yada, 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 and I tune them up until I match an octave, the major thirds are going to be way short of the octave. Way, way, way short. In fact, you can do it in just one octave. Right here, if I tuned these pure, it would be short of that octave. And if you kept going, it would be even shorter. And so what do we have to do with major thirds? We widen them. Now, how to think about the wide versus narrow. So major thirds, the inverse of a fifth is a fourth. The inverse of a major third is a minor sixth. Okay. If a major third is wide, then a minor sixth comes out narrow. And it would be true if I tuned up a bunch of sixths until I came out to meeting something else. The sixths would be very short of where they needed to be. We would have to, minor sixths. Yes, they would come out too wide and we would have to squish them down. I say things backwards sometimes. So an easy way to remember which ones are which, sort of. If I just look at an octave, let's look at C to C. Let's look, very out of tune. Let's look at a C to C octave. If I look at the G in the middle between these two C's, I have a fifth on the bottom and a fourth on the top. If I need to narrow my fifth and I move my G down, what happens to my fourth? My fourth becomes wide. So if fifths are narrow, fourths are wide. The inverse of anything has the opposite quality of wide and narrow. So if major thirds are wide, minor sixths are then narrow. If we have a C to C and E is a major third down here, if we have to widen it by moving it up, we're narrowing this minor sixth. All right. So major thirds are wide, minor sixths are narrow. And if I have, let's look at a major sixth. Major sixths are wide. So if a major sixth is wide, we have to move this up. We're making the minor third narrow. Minor thirds are narrow. The only thing that's a little tricky to remember, fifths and fourths, you just have to remember. Major thirds, major sixths, the major is the wider one. But with sevenths, it's backwards. The minor seventh is wide. and the major seventh is narrow. So if a minor seventh is wide, then the major second is narrow. And if the major seventh is narrow, then the minor second is wide. So somebody asked me why, so I'm going to reiterate this with the minor seventh. If I tuned a bunch of minor sevenths up or around and somehow matched some other intervals, octaves, let's say, okay, the minor seventh would come out short. And so we have to expand it to meet. So all our intervals come out even in equal temperament. So that's why a minor seventh is wide. That's why they're wide and narrow.